Yo, what is up, YouTube? Alright, man. So we back with another Tales of Arise video. So we're gonna pick up where we left off, man. To we're gonna try to get to Lennigus, right, in this episode. So yeah. All right, let's head on with it, man. Let's go straight into it, bro. We are doing this late at night, but fuck it, we gotta beat this game ASAP. So fuck it, let's go, man.
Just one thing after another, and it all falls on my head to...
Hey, Nath.
What? Can't you see I'm... Alphen?
Looks like you have your hands full.
As much as ever. As if I wasn't busy enough putting down the last remnants of Renan rule, I'm up to my ears in Danon disputes. And then, to top it all off, that thing had to come crashing down from out of the sky.
Pretty sure we've heard this somewhere before.
But enough about my problems. What can I help you with?
Yeah, we're looking for an old Renan starship. You wouldn't happen to know any around these parts, would you?
A starship? What do you need one of those for?
To get to Lennigus.
Lennigus? Are you out of your damn mind?
Believe it or not, it wouldn't be the craziest thing we've done recently.
Oh, I believe it. Well, either way, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about a starship.
Then do you have any historical records by chance?
Sure, we've got stacks of old records.
Mind if we take a look at them?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Nath.
I read through all of the records, but I only found a single line that might point to what we're looking for. It mentions a rock that shot across the sky and landed past the mountains. The event was recorded just before the first Renan invasion.
And you think that might be the starship?
I don't know. There was nothing else in the records that came even close. It looked like it was someplace called Berg, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Berg?
That ring any bells for you?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest volcanoes in Calaglia. I was just there recently, investigating a report of a meteor someone saw.
Another meteor in the same area? Really?
I wonder if it could have been one of those lights that shot out of the wedge.
All the more reason to check it out. Can you tell us how to get there?
The old Zion mine is up that way. One of the veins we abandoned connects to the volcano. Go ahead and use that. But you should be careful.
Huh?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the meteor. There's a giant Zoogle running riot in there. Never seen anything like it.
A Zoogle, huh?
I turned back as soon as I caught sight of the thing, so I can't tell you much more. Just be real careful if you head out that way.
Hmm?
All right.
Hmm?
I guess...
Hmm.
Right.
I didn't like the sound of that monster Nath was talking about one bit.
Well, we have to press on. We're going through Zion Mine to Berg Volcano. Let's move.
Everything okay with Hootle, Rinwell? He seems kinda out of spirits.
It must be the heat getting to him. We don't get these kind of temperatures back in Cislodia.
Galaglians born and raised here struggle with it too, so it's no surprise.
Aha! So that's why his plumage is so white. He was born in a winter wonderland.
Actually, Dan and owls absorb the astral energy of whatever land they're raised in. Where they're born doesn't affect their appearance at all. But that's not why he's white. The real reason is that he's still just a baby.
You mean their plumage changes color depending on where they grow up? Weird.
And with all this traveling we've been doing, it wouldn't surprise me if his wings ended up looking like a colorful painting.
I think he suits his snowy complexion. It'll feel strange to see him change.
How awesome would it be if his head and wings were different colors? And his stomach and sides, like a map of our travels! Ow, lay off, will ya? So much for the heat making him docile!
You've only yourself to blame for that one. Hootle takes pride in his appearance, you know.
Fascinating. An appreciation of aesthetic beauty in an owlet so young.
Dohalim, I think you've drawn his attention.
We've reached our destination.
I've got a good amount of info on our enemies written down now.
That's wonderful, Rinwell. I'm sure that data shall prove most useful.
I like to think so. If there's anything you want to know, just ask.
Thanks for waiting. Eat as much as you like.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
Don't worry. Once I finish folding these clothes, I'll go to sleep. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
It's quite hot here. The climate feels different from Menancius.
It's gotten much cooler since leaving town, though.
Does that mean eyes were burning holes in us?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
So we're back in the Zion Mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law. So hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship. And fast.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Where are you going?
You airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for you truly. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished. Not a
Water
chance.
astral energy.
Dragon Swarm! Demon Fang!
Now. Astral energy. Full throttle.
We can really make weapons with this?
I won't forgive you.
Damn it! It's over!
You have to aim for the bright area on their back. This one's mine.
Got fired!
I've got this. Let him force me. Glad you have
All
your
yours.
uses.
I'll show you how useful I can be!
Do it.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
Into the
Take this!
top.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this! Paladin hurricane! Dragon form! Talon storm! Water!
Do it. Law. Get toasty.
Burn strike!
Right. Next one. Here's another.
Already on! Watch it!
I'm all stocked up.
Talon storm! Dragon swarm! Talon hurricane!
Do it.
Tear him up!
Go for it.
Prepare to crumble! My fists are crushing it out there!
Thus our strength yet grows.
You can make plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer. Thank you very much.
Little help! Let the monster handle!
Demon Pack! I'll take you all on! You're mine!
Hide his stick is armor!
Demon Duck!
Freaking does it!
Arctic
Here I
water!
come! I'll stop its charge!
No
Thank
armor
you,
can
Tara.
stop me!
Remind me to stay on your good side.
Dragon Claw!
Glacial spear! Here's
Now
the
hit the
evil!
glue!
And here's Blazer! Get on in there with the others!
Glimmer
I'm
blade! I'm just getting started!
Vacuum Blade!
Rip and tear!
Sleep now!
It was nice while it lasted. Will this
Arch malevolence! Arctic water!
Demon Pack!
Healing circle!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Be still! You're mine! No escape!
Do it!
You're on!
Lock!
Demons descend! Flashing fang! Easy!
Wait! To go!
I'm just getting started!
Sword Lane Alpha!
Steel! I'm all stuffed up!
Dragon Claw! Demon Pack! Sword Lane Alpha! Take this!
Ready to go! By the power of water! In here!
Sorry, but this fight ends here!
Now Asuna!
Right! Astral energy!
Say no more! Shut!
Well done!
I'm on it! Dragon Claw!
Alright, it's showtime!
Step back! This one's all law!
An opponent like this should be easy.
Not on my watch!
Eat this!
Radiant
Come and
here!
get it!
Here I come! Vacuum Blade!
Tonic punch!
Demon Pack!
Do it! Lock! Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Right, next one!
Vacuum Blade!
Already on! Watch
Vacuum
this!
Blade!
Eagle assault!
You're mine!
Swallow
Vacuum
this!
Blade! Be still!
Now!
You're mine!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Glacial spear! Here's the evil! Here's
It's
the
over.
Here's the level! Freeze blast! Magic
Shouldn't have messed with me!
Freeze
Vacuum
blast!
Blade!
Hold on to your horn! Do it!
Eagle!
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
So, did you like my boost art?
Yeah, it was off the charts! Ow! I'm surrounded! Swallow this!
Seal! I'll be saving this Gemini Aqua!
If it curls up, time to get out of the way!
Talon Hurricane! Severing Wind!
Flying free!
Leon! Astral energy! Full throttle!
A flawless victory.
Dragon Form!
Naturally!
Too strong! Then I'll split it open!
Be my guest! Damn!
These fists have got your name on them!
Lightning Thrust! No escape! Dragon Swarm!
Eagle assault!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! Leave it to you!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Raging Cascade!
Demon Pack! First
Freaking got it!
Demon Pack!
Arctic waterfall!
Almost
Sleep
dead.
now! Lunar
Soaring
Blast!
Alpha.
There with the others!
Demon Pack!
Now I'm in the groove! Watch it!
Here, let me help.
Sword Lane Alpha! Now I'm real mad!
Dragon Swarm!
Talon Hurricane!
Demon Fang!
Really care!
Nothing gets by
Do
me.
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Wow, look what I just found.
My face is starting to sting, and my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
You want some too, Shion? Oh, wait. I bet you're hungry more than anything, aren't you?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
I won't forgive you!
Dragon Swarm! First strike!
Demons descend! Flashing Fang! Yeah, I look pretty flashy out there.
So glad it met with your approval. Go no further! Sighted!
Far enough! I'll tear you apart! I'll smash you! I'll finish you here and now!
Vacuum Blade!
Eat this!
Sweep now!
Demon Fang!
Get on here!
Ripping tear! I'm a
Leave
explosive
this
blade!
arch to me!
No complaints here!
Demon Fang!
Now I'm real mad!
Explosive Blade! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Demon Fang!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon shout!
Demon Fang! Take this!
Eat this!
We're cleared at how? A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Vacuum Blade! Dazzle! Take this! I'm not done! Mirage!
Nothing gets by me.
Now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
There's always room for improvement.
forgive you!
Hey, when did I get so popular?
That's enough! Try this!
Mega Ray!
Explosive enough!
Dragon Shell!
Vacuum blade! Wind!
I'm on! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Dragon Swarm! Now the flame inside me yearns to be let free! Dragon Swarm! Sorry, but this fight ends here!
Now, Asuna!
Right!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Well done.
Oh, now do it!
Kikara, go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Fall into my own death!
Now I'm in the groove!
Radiant
I
fire!
really owe you.
Dragon Swarm!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
Hey, new equipment!
Hi, Poodle!
Dragon Swarm!
Lunar corruption! Hard color! Arctic waterfall!
Dragon Swarm! Sword Lane Alpha!
More resistance!
Here I come!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on a roll now!
Swarm!
Corruption!
Eagle drive!
Try harder! My turn! No escape! Try this! Explosive ring!
Sleep now by the power of our
Dragon Swarm! Sword Lane Alpha! I'm not
One at
done!
a time!
Dragon Swarm!
Here I go! Here's
Demon Tank! Explosive ring! Burn!
Watch this!
Vacuum blade! Dragon Swarm! Try this! Explosive ring!
You see what happened there as you crossed? Shouldn't have done that.
Severing wind! Mirage! Here I come! I'm not done! Demon Tank!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm just getting started!
Here I come!
Everyone hanging in there?
Great, now I'm hurt and dirty.
This'll be a delicious piece
Try
of
this.
cake!
Explosive ring!
Not on my watch!
I'll tear you apart!
Your pick! Demon Tank! Explosive ring!
Eagle drive!
Try harder! My turn! No escape!
In here!
Sword Lane Alpha! Demon Tank! It's over!
An astral art?
That's my cue!
Tank!
Shut him down!
Strike!
Sleep now!
My turn! I'm not done! Hurricane Thrust! Searing Gale! First strike! Next!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that was improving.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
Turn the
I've
tables
never
on.
seen stairs actually look duster.
Right. No time to hold back. Dragon Form! Blow away! Take this! Sword Rain Alpha! Lightning Strike! You're on! You're finished!
Damn, you beat me to it.
Gotta be quick, or I'll take them all myself.
Oh, like hell you will.
We did it! You're on!
Sleep now.
It's over! You're mine! No escape!
Dragons go!
Here I come! Demon Dragon! It's over!
Do it!
That extra training paid off.
This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it? We got some good equipment.
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out. Dragon denied. That freaking does it. I'll tear you apart.
Vacuum Blade!
More for the stockpile.
Severing Wind!
Now I'm in the
Aim for
groove.
the weak spot!
Hydration orb.
Strike!
Glitter Dragon. I'll crush you. Ah! Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw. Eat this. That's enough. I'll tear. Now I'm in the groove.
Dazzle! You're mine! Strike!
Do it.
Totally! In an instant!
Impact block.
Easy.
A breeze.
An easy breeze.
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny. Especially you, Law. No pushing anyone, not even as a joke.
I'm not a little kid.
Out of our way. Where are you going?
Dragon Form!
Come and face me!
Mega ray. Freeze now. By the power of water.
Vacuum Blade!
Don't mind if I do.
Demon
Gemini
Fang!
do it.
Team up!
Astral energy.
Say no more! Got it!
Well
Demon
done.
Fang! Demon Fang!
Watch this.
You're mine!
Eagle
Into the shadows. Now.
Dazzle!
Dohalim. This one's got your name on it.
Ash to ash!
You're on! Here I come! Dragon Form!
Watch this.
Demon Fang! It's over! Vacuum Blade! Demon Fang! Demon Fang!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that.
Dragon Form! Demon Fang! I'm on Vacuum Blade!
That freaking does it.
Now.
Rinwell. Demon's Descent. Flashing Fang. Easy.
Way to go.
Demon Fang!
Now.
First strike!
Talon Hurricane. Did you see?
Sure did. You were checking out Kisara from behind.
What? No, I wasn't. you!
Dragon Form! Demon Fang!
Don't mind if I do.
First Strike!
Glacier Spear! Here's the evil!
Hurricane!
Pile Lancer! Whoa! Hey! Another time! Freeze Lancer! Here's another! Go get Charge Malevolence! Magic is
Time to let it rip!
Do it! One last one! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Charge Malevolence! Peel! Magna Freeze Lancer! By the power of water! Do it! Bullseye! Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Right, next one!
Already on!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Do it! Go Xion! Astral Energy! Full throttle! Haha! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Charge Malevolence! Hold on to your arts! Here I come! Lunar Corruption!
See what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Tidal Wave! Here's another! Here's another! Go for the weak point!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Big waterfall! Freeze Lancer!
That frickin' does it!
One more!
Dragon shell!
Fire now!
No, I won't give in!
Here's another!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Lost!
Demon's descent! Flashing fang!
Easy! Way to go! Seal! Please focus! Blah 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 magic! Tidal Wave!
I'll tear you apart!
Go Xion! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Those astral arts of yours are pretty impressive.
Thanks! You're full of surprises yourself.
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily. Both of them contain Earth astral energy. Luckily for me, this area is rich not only in fire energy, but Earth as well.
changing up the plan.
Come one, come all.
Any more of this and I'll burn out.
Go for the weak point.
Oh, now I'm real mad.
Demon Fang!
Healing
Super Swallow! Take it!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon shout! Eagle assault! Watch it!
Vacuum blade!
Not my plan.
You paid for that!
in here. It looks like you got this one covered. Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Demon Fang!
Here
Dragon Swarm! Sword Rain Alpha!
Do it!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Here I come! Take it! No escape!
Please now.
Vacuum blade!
Amazing.
Make it rain!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
You sure showed them.
All in a day's work.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go! This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone.
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared.
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogles? Take care of them while keeping an eye on it.
Here! I'll stop it, Chug!
Thanks, Kisara. Here's the
Sonic Thrust! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Dragon Swarm! Demon Fang! Try this! Explosive Ring!
Lion Power!
Dragon Swarm! You're mine! No escape!
I'll be saving this one.
Here I come! Demon Fang!
Appreciate the help.
Explosive Ring!
There you go. Don't let up.
Dragon Swarm! No escape! You picked the wrong fight!
Resuscitation.
Dragon Swarm! Demon Fang!
Look out!
Strike! There! Dragon Swarm! There!
This can't be happening. No! Don't
Dragon
leave me
Swarm!
alone.
Strike! Here I come!
Lightning
No
strike!
escape!
Hurricane
Dragon Swarm!
My head's spinning just watching you.
Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Here you go.
Demon
You like
Fang!
me again.
Try harder!
Freaking done
Not
it.
again!
Here you go.
Dragon
Like me
Swarm!
again. I really owe
Demon
you one.
Fang! Take this! It's over! You're mine! I'm not done!
Nice while it lasted.
Try harder!
It won't end
I'm
like
mine.
you
You paid for that! Try harder! Take this!
I hope this medicine works.
Dragon Swarm! Sword Rain Alpha! No! Can't end here!
Go pay for that. Healing circle. Glacial spear. Pierce evil. Freeze
What a relief.
Will this help? Blah, blah, blah. Magic. This one's mine.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Healing circle.
You're mine! Double Demon Fang! This one's all mine!
I'll be saving this one.
I'm on a roll now.
Healing circle.
Dragon Shell! You're mine!
Just getting started.
I owe you, Sion. Healing is what my arts do best. All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
Eagle Fly. Now I'm in the
Bring you
groove.
back from death's abyss.
Talon Storm.
Resuscitation.
Dragon Shell.
You're mine!
Just getting started.
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm on it.
This one's mine.
Double Demon Fang!
Eagle Assault.
This one's all mine!
Armor won't save you.
Rising Wyvern! Hurricane
Hurricane.
Rising Phoenix!
Dragon Shell.
Coming! Rising Falcon!
Talon Hurricane.
Green Dragon!
Oh, you are gonna pay for that.
You picked the wrong fight!
Bring you back from death's abyss.
It's go time.
Resuscitation.
Demon Fang!
No, I can carve through walls.
Demon
Put you
Fang!
out of your
Finish
misery.
it! Don't leave!
Hey,
Blow them away! Rising Wyvern! Dragon Killer! Rising Falcon!
eat this.
I'll run you through! You're mine! I'm not done!
Dragon Shell.
Rain Blast! The Tiger Wall!
Death Blossom.
Rising Phoenix!
I'm on it.
Dark Demon Fang!
It was nice while it lasted.
Eternal
Tidal
Darkness!
wave. Lunar
First
corruption.
strike!
Talon Storm.
Gemini aqua.
Take it down! Now I'm in the groove! Eat this! One more! Anything in armor is all mine! Death! I'm getting devastation! That's enough! Destruction! Super corrosion! Amazing! I've let you all down. Stay away from my friends!
Now! Astral energy!
Say no more!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Here come more!
We'll just have to keep fighting.
Leave the enemy's arts to me!
No complaints here! Anything in armor is all mine! Explosive ring!
They're all coming after me!
I'm coming, Manuel.
I'm not scared! I'm totally
You
fine!
made quick work of them!
You want me to pick up your slack then?
Just point it out!
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah, you too. Here's another. Wind astral energy! Whoa, hey! Freeze! Alvin, astral energy!
Say no more!
Well done.
Rising Wyvern!
Wind astral!
Spear!
One more!
I'll tear you apart!
One last one!
Finish it!
Sion, astral energy! Full throttle! Will this help?
I felt fine not too long ago.
Reinforcements incoming!
Not a problem.
It's on!
Not on my watch. Here goes! Raging
Vacuum
cascade!
blade!
Eagle flash!
Rolling alpha! Demon Fang!
Swallow dance!
Now!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
This one's mine!
Devastation! Mirage!
This
Severing
can't be
Blade!
happening! Not on my watch!
Mirage! Take
Now!
this! Remember!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Truck! You're mine! No escape!
Eagle assault!
Vacuum blade!
Healing circle!
Lightning thrust!
You see what happened there as you crossed me? You shouldn't have done that!
I'm not done! Eat this! Dragon Swarm!
Now, you are in tip-top shape!
As soon as I'm done here...
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Water astral Here, let me help!
Take this!
First aid!
Looks like you came to my rescue again.
You need to be careful. With the blazing sword, and with my thorns.
Oh, now you're talking! It was nice while it lasted.
Demon Fang!
I've let you all down.
Gravitas field!
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
One more!
Demon Fang!
Parish malevolence!
You're finished! Try harder! My turn!
Field!
I hope this thing is meant to be seen.
This one!
Ignite!
Glimmer Dragon!
Try harder! My
I'm
turn!
on a roll now!
No escape!
Rolling attack! Talon Storm! All good
I could do without... Hey! Try harder! Not a chance! Now! Not a chance! Now! No! Can't... I'm here!
Fire's a passion coursing this flame! Sharpness! Power's malevolence! Arctic waterfall! Freeze lancer! Who cares?
I couldn't first try!
Imbue this vanquished soul with life! Anything in armor is all mine!
Take this! I'm not done!
Being interrupted.
Demon Fang!
Can't lose! Talon Hurricane!
Fluidity of the movement.
Now you see what I can do on a roll now!
Demon Fang!
By the power of water!
It's over!
In a bind?
This one's mine.
Breath of life.
I never
Feel
miss.
my weary companion.
Dragon Form!
Kill.
It's weakened.
This ends now! I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. It's about to strike.
Look sharp, everyone!
Everyone all right?
We... won't surrender. We... won't retreat, not yet.
Whatever you... Just please stay safe.
I can handle it.
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it. Just watch and learn. That's enough! Go back down!
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
I can feel my precision improving.
Hey, is that it over there?
Did we really just spend that much money?
Alvin?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alvin.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave? We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shion can finally get rid of her thorns. Shion?
Huh? Yeah.
Where? Shion? Where'd Shion go? How could she just go off on her own? She's not over there. Where did she run off to? Shion. Shion. Shion!
It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Rolron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shion, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first, but ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much.
when this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shion!
Help it.
Living for the sake of dying. is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alvin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. We'll fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shion. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys. You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, in a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Well, that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Xion in Pelagian. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Xion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Xion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Xion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Xion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it. Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Xion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her, no matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Not this way, I guess. Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Danans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegis.
Huh? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, we thought we'd turn the tables and critique your appearance for a change.
It's not fair if we're the only ones subjected to it.
What?
Did you guys hear? Apparently, she found that dress of hers in some old ruins.
Alphen, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you care to tell us your verdict?
Sure, I guess. To be honest, when I first saw Shion in that dress, I
Quit it!
was absolutely captivated.
All right, I think that's enough fun for one day.
Thanks for waiting. Eat as
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Thinking some more about how to realize your ideals?
No. Actually, I've been trying not to obsess about it as much as before. I find when I think too much about my ideals, I get hung up on the reality of things and lose sight of what's really important. I know what it's like to go hungry, to lose your family. That should be reason enough to fight for a better society, so nobody else has to. Sorry about that.
Even thinking about things will make you hungry after a while. You wait here. I'll go whip something up for you.
Thanks for the food.
What's so funny?
Nothing. Just impressed at how good of a cook you've become.
Well, we've been on this journey for a while now. So I've had more than a few opportunities to hone my skills.
Yeah, and now I have a good meal in me. There's a simple kind of happiness that comes with that, you know? One that's more powerful and convincing than complicated logic can be.
That reminds me of something Law said, about how talking too much doesn't put food in people's stomachs.
That sounds like Law. But it's true nonetheless. When you get down to it, all you really need is enough food to keep you full and to be surrounded by people you love. Everything else comes second.
Speaking of people you love, I haven't heard you talk about Miguel much lately.
Wow, okay. Way to make me feel like the worst sister ever. But you're right, I haven't. If I'm honest, I think it's because I finally found other people I love just as much. Whatever kind of society we end up having after this, it needs to be a place where I know you all can be happy. That's my starting point for now. Don't worry. Once I finish folding these clothes, I'll go to sleep. Let's stay safe today. Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but, well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery. as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Xion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it, the true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this together.
Hey, Alvin, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alvin, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alvin. It's just wrong, okay?
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them. There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Do?
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry, that probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Alright, yo, I'm gonna end the video here. Man, that was pretty emotional scene by Shion, man. Yeah, pretty emotional, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like at this point, I don't know. Part of me wants a really sad ending though to this whole story though. But I think they're gonna pull it off just like barely. They're definitely gonna change their fate for the better, man. But we'll see, man. Anything can happen with this story. But I definitely will be happy with the good ending. So, but who knows, man? I don't know if Tales games have multiple endings or not. I think Grace's had another ending. I forgot though. I remember playing through that a while back. Yeah, but if there's one ending, then yeah, that's how it should be, right? Like an actual canon ending. But I'd definitely like a good and bad, like multiple endings, like good and bad ending, like just the like for the fantasy, like just for the fantasy of it, you know. But um, yeah, man, we're here in Lenegis now, man. The city looks pretty crazy. Looks pretty dang crazy, man. Shoot. I wonder how this is gonna turn out, man. This place looks futuristic and stuff, you know. Um, yeah, I wonder how many cities there are. Like if it's like down, like we go through 5 cities, like five. I don't know what the hell we're gonna fight though. What kind of bosses we're gonna fight? And I wonder if we'll even get new teammates in this planet. You know, that would be cool because I noticed something here while I was like changing party members. Look, I'll show you guys real quick. See, I noticed these 2 slots open. Like, ain't no damn way. There's no extra characters here. Like, you can't even fight by yourself. You always have to have one other teammate. So it doesn't make sense to not be by your, like, if you can't be by yourself, what does that mean? But then no, it's just these 2 slots that it's like making it have my hopes up, you know. 2 new teammates. That would be freaking lit. From this planet too. I wonder if they're like what if they're Danans, bro? Like Danans hidden in Lenegis, bro. That would be cool. But if they're Renans, I wouldn't be mad at it. Like 4 Renans and then 4 Danans. Like that would be cool. It's like a 50-50 split right there. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here, man. 2 hours in. I was gonna end it after the emotional Xion scene, but I definitely want to like get to the planet first, to the other to Lenegis, so we gotta find the Forbidden Zone now. Can't wait to see what that looks like. Alright, y'all, I'm in the video here. So if you guys made it to this video, man, leave a like, enjoy, share video, subscribe if you're new, comment down below, and yeah, man, peace out.